Hi, welcome to Cooking Unlimited with Chef Crystal. I am Chef Crystal, and this is the first month I'm actually posting on my YouTube channel, which I am super excited about. Now, I am celebrating Black History Month, and last week I did my first ever episode, the celebration of chicken. Now, I'm gonna post a link down below, so if you didn't watch, you can watch. Do watch. But this week, I'm celebrating the first Black-owned restaurant in America. Now, some of us have them entrepreneurial spirits where we want to own our own businesses, but something just doesn't feel right, or we have doubts and it holds us back. You know, maybe it's the day and age where we have the social injustice that's more prevalent, or it's the pandemic. I don't know. But I'm going to tell you about Walter Jones, who opened up the first Black-owned restaurant back in 1910. Now, picture it, Sicily. No, I'm sorry. For that, y'all that don't know, that's the Golden Girls. But picture it, we're in 2021, and picture last year, everything we had going on. But think about what Walter Jones had to go through back in 1910. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Walter. Walter lived in what they call a dog trot house. Now, a dog trot house has 2 rooms on either side and a breezeway in the middle. And the breezeway is to allow breeze to come through. Now, they're living in the South. And so you can imagine how hot it was down there back in 1910. So he lives in his dog trot house, and he serves barbecue off his back porch on Fridays and Saturdays. Now, we all know that song, started from the bottom, now we here. But Walter, he started below the bottom. He started by digging a hole in the ground. A hole, not a W-H, a H-O, a hole in the ground, some pipes, some fence wire, and 2 pieces of tin. That's how he started his business. Let me say that. Let me say that again. Let me say that one more time. A hole in the ground, some pipes, fence wire, and 2 pieces of tin. And it's still here today after 100 years. It's been passed down from generation to generation to generation. It is currently owned by his grandson, James Jones, and his wife, Betty. Now, they still use the same tradition that he used back then, and they are known for, let me get this right. You ready? Their barbecue pork shoulder served on white bread with their secret sauce. Now, I mean, I'm a pork lover. I love me some pork. I'll go down to their restaurant. It's called Jones's Barbecue Diner in Marianna, Arkansas. I'll go down there now and get me a plate. You know, I love me some pork. But they was actually featured in several publications, and they was in 2012 they was given an award by the James Beard Foundation. So they are recognized and known to be the first Black-owned restaurant. So I'm not really a barbecue person. I don't really do barbecue. I mean, my thing is more soul, French Asian fusion, but you know, I love me some pork. So what we're going to make today, in honor of them, in honor of Jones's Diner, is a hoisin glaze barbecue pork belly, a pickled peach and red onion marmalade, and some jalapeno buttermilk biscuits. How that sound? Yeah, you ready? All right, we going to get to cooking. So stay with me. We're about to start this cooking. It's going to be a treat. We'll let you know. Okay, so now this is going to be the fun part where we actually start cooking. Now, the first thing you want to do is we're going to start with our pork belly. So we're going to actually make our brine for the pork belly, which we already did here. We have sugar, salt, apple juice, and water. We actually heated the sugar and salt up with the water, and then added the apple juice, and we let it cool. So now we're going to take our pork belly, which I got this from the Asian market. It's about 2 inches. But you could go to Reading Terminal Market and get pork belly. This is about 2.5 pounds of pork belly. So we're going to actually, I'm not going to remove the skin. I'm actually going to score it. And so that's going to help render the fat. Scoring it, I'm just making lines throughout the pork belly. And we're going to do what we call a crosshatch. We're actually going to go back the other way. You can't see it now, but when it cooks, you'll be able to see the beautiful diamond shapes that I'm getting in here. And you want to do this evenly. And after we score our pork belly, we're going to want to put that in our brine and let that brine about 2 to 3 hours. So we're going to go ahead and score all our pork belly. Oh, so excited. So after we scored our pork belly, I don't know if you can see the diamonds in it, we're going to actually put it in our brine. And we're going to let that brine for 2 to 3 hours. It's going to be delicious. Okay, so we have our pork belly brining. Now we're going to make the hoisin glaze barbecue sauce. Now this is a simple recipe. It's easy. There's nothing to it. I got medium heat going on in my sauce pot. I'm going to add a little bit of oil because I'm going to sweat out my garlic. So I'm going to add about a teaspoon of oil. And we're going to add about 1.5 teaspoons of garlic. And we're just going to sweat that out. Let it become aromatic. Now we're going to add our hoisin. You can buy this at any supermarket. Ooh. I mean, it's starting to smell good already. Hoisin, rice wine vinegar, soy sauce. Now, this is going to give you a little heat. This is gochujang. We're going to add about a tablespoon of gochujang, or 1/2 tablespoon, sorry, of gochujang. But you can add more if you like more spice. And then a tablespoon of ketchup. So we're going to let this cook down and get it all incorporated. And this should take about 15 to 20 minutes to cook down. You want to let this cook. Okay, I know we have all these sauces, but you want to let this cook down. You want the flavors to marry together and become well incorporated. So let this cook down. So don't rush it. Oh, and I'm going to add 1/2 cup of water. I wish we had smell-o-vision. I swear to beans. Okay, so this is ready to go. We're going to let it come up and let it cook. Don't rush it. All right, now we're going to get started on our second part, or our third part, which is the pickled peach red onion jam. All right. So now that we got our barbecue sauce going, we're going to start on our our pickled peach and red onion marmalade. Okay, so I already got my pan heating up right here. We got it on medium heat. I'm going to start, come over here with me, 1 red onion. So I'm going to trim it off, top, bottom. And you notice my fingers are tucked underneath. Please tuck them fingers, use a sharp knife, and then I'm going to split it right there. Pause it. So I'm going to peel that top layer off. Just squirt this. Yes, again. And then I'm going to take it and I'm going to just do a quick julienne. That's it. So once our onion is nicely cut and julienne, we're actually going to take and go to our pot pan. We're going to heat up about a tablespoon of oil. Oh, you should smell that barbecue sauce. Oh, it smells so good. Oh my goodness. So we're going to take our onions. And we're going to start to sweat that down. Oh, you hear that? You hear that sizzle, sizzle? Now, I already pickled my peaches. I did what they call a quick pickle. I put everything in a pot, brought it up to a boil, and then I poured it right over top of my peaches. And let that sit for about 10 minutes. 5 to 10 minutes. You don't need more than that to get that pickling flavor into it. Now, I'm going to now do a rough chop on my peaches. Just rough. It doesn't have to be anything pretty. And I'm going to add that to my onions that's caramelizing. Now we're going to add our peaches to the pan. Look at that beautiful caramelization going on. And what I did was I strained the pickling liquid, but I reserved it. Oh, look at that. So now I got about a tablespoon of lemon juice. I got the bay leaf and the cinnamon stick. Put that in there. The reserved pickling liquid. A cup of that. A half a cup of sugar. And you're going to notice I'm not using any pectin. Come look at this. Come look at this. Look at this. We're going to cut that down. And we're going to let that, what we call simmer. We're going to just let it chill out. Let it like marinate. You know what marinate is. And now I'm going to add the zest of 1 orange. This is going to add so much flavor to this. And then the juice of 1 orange. So zest it all. The juice. All right, now that that's done, we're going to clean up, wash our hands, and let this cook down. All right. We got our barbecue sauce going. We got our pickled peach and red onion marmalade going. And our brine, we brined our pork belly for about 2 hours. So now I'm going to take it out of the brine and I cut up a mirepoix. Mirepoix is carrots, onions, and celery. So I put it in a roasting pan. I'm going to take our brine pork belly. Just put it right on that bed of mirepoix. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put approximately a cup of water at the bottom of this. And I am going to cover this with a piece of foil and put it in a preheated 400-degree oven. Why? because it's going to partially steam and roast at the same time, and it's going to help render that fat off that pork belly and give you a nice crispy skin. All right, we'll see you in the oven. Okay, our pork belly has been cooking for about a half an hour. Oh, let's see what beautiful bean. Look at that. Look at that beautiful bean footage. And now we're going to take our barbecue sauce. Look. And we're going to just, woo! Woo, boy! I'm telling you. We're going to glaze that all over. After we put our glaze on, we're going to throw that back in and glazing it every 10 minutes in between. Oh yeah, that's good stuff right there. I'm gonna see you back in a little bit. Finish glazing this up. So there we have it, the celebration of the first black-owned restaurant in America. 1910, Walter Jones, Jones's Barbecue Diner in Marianna, Arkansas. And what we did to celebrate that was a hoisin glaze barbecue pork belly, a pickled peach and red onion marmalade, and some homemade jalapeno buttermilk biscuits. Now, I hope this episode inspires you to go after your dream and let nothing stop you. Tune in next time to Cooking Unlimited with Chef Crystal, and we're out. Peace.